But we're going to put the weekend that was off to the side here briefly, but I do want to set the table right now for tonight's Monday Night Football doubleheader. Because while it feels like at this moment we're drinking out of the fire hose and it feels like there's so much going on, we still have two more games tonight, baby. A game at 7 o'clock Eastern and a game at 10 o'clock Eastern. The first one, though, in Houston between the Buccaneers and the Texans right now over at BetMGM. Houston, a 2.5-point favorite. That total sitting at 42.5. And from an injury standpoint, there's actually a lot with this game. Chris Godwin, he's been ruled out. Tristan Wirfs also ruled out for Tampa Bay. Those guys are not expected back for at least another couple of weeks. But for Tampa on the offensive line, their other offensive tackle, Luke Gadecki or Gadecki, I don't know which. I hear it pronounced both ways. We need like the Bijan Robinson thing from last night for our guy Luke tonight. Which that also is maybe on another time with more time we can talk about Bijan Robinson and the whole Bijan versus Bijan thing. But Luke Gadecki, which we'll call him right now, he is listed as questionable. Was limited in practice on Saturday after being DNP Thursday and Friday. That's going to be one that's a game time decision. I'm sure we'll find out a little bit later on during the 5 o'clock hour with the actives and inactives. On the Houston side, Braxton Berrios and Christian Kirk, both of their wide receivers, they're out with hamstring injuries, as is their center, Jake Andrews, who injured his ankle in the loss to the Rams on Sunday. He is also out for tonight's game. As for what everyone's betting with tonight's game, 60% of the bets, 67% of the handle is on Tampa plus the 2.5. 60% of the bets on over 42.5, but 60% of the handle is on under 42.5. I'd actually kind of lean to the under, just given the fact that all the injuries at wide receiver and on the offensive line with both of these teams. I think it's a lower scoring game. As for the money line, 80% of the bets and 78% of the handle is on the Buccaneers plus 120. So the betting public liking Tampa in tonight's game. It's a small lean to the Bucs for me, but that's only at 3. Like at 3, I'd bet Tampa. At the current prices, I'm just going to pass the game. I have obviously Femi's Island. We'll have some first TD scorer bets with tonight's game. For the most popular anytime touchdown scorer bet, though, Mike Evans. Plus 150, Mr. 1,000 yards. Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the anytime TD score. That's the most popular one over at BetMGM, where people try to make it legendary, as I've once heard a time or two. For tonight's game, though, in Las Vegas, the nightcap on the West Coast, you have the Chargers at the Raiders. Los Angeles, a 3.5-point favorite. This one's kind of been bouncing back between like 3.5 even money, 3.5 minus 105, and we're minus 105 right now over at BetMGM. The total is 46.5. If I had to guess where that total is going to go, it would be to the over, as this game is being played indoors, and we've all seen the Raiders' defense throughout the preseason, and even against the Patriots, where there were some opportunities to make some big plays. Patriots just didn't do it. You can see why folks might like the over with this one. From an injury standpoint, though, the big one tonight, of course, is Raiders tight end Brock Bowers. He is expected to play. Now, as I was telling Bill this morning, like Pete Carroll says he's expected to play. Pete Carroll said he looks great over the weekend. Pete Carroll also makes me look like negative Nancy. Like that is like the eternal optimist. That man, there's no more, it's positive Pete. All right. So you got to take it with a grain of salt with Pete Carroll when it comes to an injury standpoint. There could be a guy that just tore his ACL. Pete Carroll said maybe we get him back in a couple of weeks. Like that's how he rolls with this injury news. So I'm pretty sure Brock Bowers will play. I don't know if he's going to look great. The brace that he has is pretty bulky, but I would expect him to be out there on the field. But I just wouldn't be going all systems go for Brock Bowers if I had him in like a DFS lineup or something like that, or with the prop betting, whatever. I think it's going to be kind of touch and go, as it already was when he was healthy, as they were playing Michael Mayer quite a bit in the game against the New England Patriots. On the Chargers side, linebacker Denzel Perryman has already been ruled out. He has now been placed on IR, so Perriman's going to miss at least the next month. For the Bolts, they'll be down also Elijah Molden on the back end in the secondary, dealing with a hamstring injury. And then Delshon Phillips at linebacker usually wouldn't be notable. He's listed as questionable, but he is the replacement for Denzel Perryman. So just kind of keep that in mind for that Chargers defense. As for what everyone's betting, 62% of the bets and 60% of the handles on the Chargers laying the 3.5. 65% of the bets, 80% of the handle is on over 46.5. And then you have 54% of the bets and 67% of the handle on Chargers money line. So Chargers in the over. That's what people like in tonight's game. You guys know where I sit with tonight's game. I like the Raiders plus 3.5. I also like the Raiders on the money line at plus 155. I think the Raiders pull off the upset tonight here in Las Vegas.